This is Ralph with 13 Peppers, and in today's video for February 24th, 2022, I'm going to go over my process so far with all my seedlings. We're going to start by removing all the humidity domes. I apologize about the shaky camera here, but just want to go over exactly what all my seedlings and everything look like so far. What my trays are doing, what the growing is, and the few I have popping up on that one there. What you will notice in the video that you see is all of my seedlings on the left-hand side seem to be sprouting, where the seedlings on the right over here are not. That is just because I kind of move the trays around depending on what's actually seeding first. So I know everything on the left is what seeds first and comes on down. That way when I'm looking for new growth on these trays over here, I don't have to look over all 9 of my trays to try to find my new seedlings. I only have to look at a couple. So like for example today, I'm looking in here and my chili picante is actually starting to come up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move that over here into this tray. Same thing with my Hawaii Beach habaneros that are here. I have those two. I got 2 of those popping up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move those over here to this tray. And then do the same thing. I'm just going to keep rotating down to where this is my last tray that I'm waiting for things to seed. Not to seed, but to sprout. Now, the other thing that I'm going to be doing here tonight is taking some of the seedlings that have fully sprouted in the trays and taking them from the humidity dome and setting them in their own grow area. Now, in the grow area I'm going to have down here, I'm still going to have them under a heat mat just because I want them to actually get their first and second true leaves before I take them off the heat mat. So I'm going to put new trays down here, and like my Ahi Kajamarka, and I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly, is planted 18 seeds here, and I have a total of 16 that has actually come up. So to me, I'm ready to actually get this out of underneath the humidity dome. I still might get the other 2 seeds to pop up. I might not, but I'm very happy with that production, and I'm going to go ahead and just move that out under the humidity dome. So, and give you another example here, like my poblano. Those I actually planted a total of 11 seeds, and I have all 11 that's actually popped up out of the seeding trays. So that's a very, very good production. Last thing I am doing here is when I'm moving all the seeds down to the final tray that's down here, I am actually notating it on my list. So basically, like my Ahi Kajamarka, I'm going ahead and I'm marking the date, which is 2/24 on my list, and actually marking the total amount of peppers that have sprouted. So that way I can go back and look to see if I do get the other 2 sprout. That tells me then I can actually update the total number that sprouted, but that also gives me a date range now of how long it actually took for all the seeds to actually come up from beginning to end. So as of right now, those first sprout, those were actually planted on the 15th. They broke the soil on the 21st, and I have 16 of those out of the 18 that is all up by the 24th. So this is the kind of information I'm going to be putting up on my website for all my peppers. And this is my process and where I'm at as of the 24th of November. Last thing I want to go over with you tonight is once you do transfer the plants out underneath the humidity dome, you got to make sure that you do have a fan that is blowing. It doesn't have to be heavy, just light enough to give a small breeze. Because if you have your shoots and everything sprouting up and there's no breeze, then the stems are not strong, and then they are very prone to fall over and break. So you want to go ahead and simulate like they would be outside, and then that way they would actually grow a sturdier stem as they're actually coming up. So the other thing that you're going to do is, since you do have a fan on them, you do have to watch the water on those a lot more closely because they are a lot quicker to dry out. So those would be the final things. Now, I appreciate you guys watching very much. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out greatly. Also, if you have questions, please put those down into the comments. I'll be happy to answer anything you guys have. Other than that, I want to say thank you very much, and you guys have a very good evening.